Hey folks, this is Vint with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Novalands. This is a game that's coming to Steam on June 22nd, 2023. There's also a free-to-play demo, so if you like what you see here, you can download the game and try it before you end up getting it. So, what is Novalands? Well, I got my press copy about a year or two ago, and my save files keep getting wiped, but this is a game that I don't mind replaying because it gives me those Forager vibes. In Forager, it's a top-down, cartoony-esque setting where you'll be grinding resources ad nauseum, trying to, well, use those resources to produce other resources and then unlock new areas, and then you finally finish the game. With Novalands, you're doing much the same thing. You start off in this little hex, and from there, you're going to be using little furnaces to start getting coal, and you can chop down trees using your little gather tool. It's like a little laser beam, whatever. But over the course of time, you'll be able to do so much more. I've streamed this game a couple of times while it was still in the private, alpha, beta, whatever. The only resource that you have to worry about is not food, but oxygen. There is an oxygenator building that you'll be able to construct right away, and you have to keep this oxygenator fed on your island. Now, in the beginning of the game, you cannot build oxygenators across all the different hexes that you'll get, or all the different islands that you'll see. Rather, you have to keep coming back to your original hex in order to sort of fill back up on oxygen. But there is technology down the line that you will be able to get to help you out with that. Over the course of time, you'll unlock automation to help you with all this stuff. And these come in the form of bots. You're going to put down this little logistics relay station thingy. It's just a little stick, whatever. It's an antenna. And then you can assign bots to these antennas, and you can tell them what resource to collect from the environment, and you can also tell them where to deliver it. So if you've got a little storage area, you can tell them, I want you to deliver it right here. Otherwise, they'll just put it to the antenna and just sort of throw it on the ground. But you can actually interact with your storages and use your little menu to say, okay, I want this particular resource stored in this one, I want this particular resource stored in this one, and so on, so on, so on. You will get logistics bots later on that will just sort of move things around for you. So there's these collector bots that will mine the environment. The logistic bots will move things around. So if the furnace needs coal, they'll go ahead and do that. If there's something laying on the ground, they'll run over, pick it up, and put it into a storage that you've assigned for that resource. It's really quite cool. And then later on, you'll get fighter bots, because not all of these islands are safe. You'll run into creatures that will attack you on site or attack your bots on site. So it's very important that you build these as well. But there's a limit to how many bots you can put on your antenna. You will also be able to unlock new hexes just by using the resources that you're crafting, and you'll discover new areas. And as you play, you'll gain skill points, which allow you to level up. The tree isn't all that massive. It's broken up into automation, personal, production, and exploration. And you're just going to be earning these skill points as you build things primarily. It seems to be the fastest way to do it. It's not like I'm getting XP as far as I can tell just from crafting. I actually have to do things in the environment, mine things or build things. But you'll be able to use this technology to unlock more slots in your bot antenna, or to double the rate of twigs that drop from trees, that kind of thing. So all in all, it makes your life somewhat easier. And these are things that you'll want to sort of take advantage of. One thing I did in the beta was just constantly build something and delete it, then build it and delete it. And I was able to level up pretty quickly that way. But yeah, different biomes or different islands will grant you different challenges. There's these bees, birds, whatever, for example, and you have to make sure you supply them with fruit so that they can multiply. And it's important because they generate like this, I think it's a golden something, like a golden egg resource something, and that's a resource that you need to craft, I believe it was med kits. So over the course of time, you start running across various people in the environment, and if you provide them resources, they will build little workshops for you, and then if you give them further resources, you can upgrade your stuffs. Like if you want a bigger inventory, or if you want a stronger extractor so that you don't have to wait as long to extract something, You'll talk to these people, give them the resources they require, wait a short period of time, and off you go. So it's just another way of getting your character better in the environment. Eventually you'll get an actual rifle that you can defend yourself with against these nasty creatures. There's even a little skin shop. You'll be unlocking skins for your character. There's no character customization, really. You just pick like one of the starter skins and that's it. But you unlock more as you go. And if you ever get confused as to what's available, there's an equipment tab in your menu, and you can quickly see, okay, I can upgrade my backpack to 3 stars, I can upgrade my extractor this much, and so on. There's even a challenges menu. If you're those kind of people that love achievements, then go ahead and do that. There's also a museum that you'll unlock over time, and this is like sort of reminiscent of the Stardew Valley and Forager museums, where you can pretty much put any resource known to man in this thing in order to fill it up. And just by filling these up, you're going to gain various bonuses. I typically don't care for doing stuff like this. I'm not an achievement hunter, but it is in the game should you want to mess around with it. And I don't mind it. I mean, I guess it's something to do. I did this in Forager when I ran out of things to do, and I got all the rewards for doing so, but again, I didn't. It's not a priority, but you do get rewards for doing it. So the gameplay loop is this. You're going to, again, start on your starter hex, and then as you use resources to unlock other hexes, you'll want to jump to those islands with your jetpack, and while your oxygen is depleting, you're going to quickly build a bot antenna, maybe some storages, and have them mine out these important resources that are unique to that biome. And then you're going to bring them back over to your main hex, where probably most of your production is, and have at it from there. Over the course of time, you'll start sort of puzzling out, okay, this particular resource is best mined here. I should probably put some kind of refinement building over here. Oh, but I need power for this area, so maybe I should put a power building, but now I need coal to power that power plant. Okay, so I can probably have this worker cut down trees and turn that into coal. So it's one of those like puzzly, it's not like complicated, but you know, it's A leads to B, leads to C, leads to D. So it's just a matter of figuring out what you want to accomplish and how you're going to go about getting there, keeping in mind that you can only have like 4 or 5 bots assigned to an antenna all at the same time. The mountain area, for example, I've got like this rocky biome that I currently have. I'm trying to mine the steel there, but I need so much to do it. I need iron ore and I need copper ore. I need to turn those into ingots, and then those ingots get deposited into a special furnace, which then turns it into steel. But I have, a bot assigned to copper, a bot assigned to iron ore, but I have to make sure that they're powered with coal. So there's that. Over the course of time, you'll unlock solar panels that replace your coal factories, which is nice. You can even at some point build like little, conveyor arms that transfer things automatically from one island to the next. They're one directional or unidirectional, so you'll have to build several if you want things going back and forth. So if this place doesn't have trees so that you can cut them down and smelt coal or get charcoal, then you'll need to import coal to that particular hex. The research tree is fairly large. I'm like halfway through it, and I've gone through this several times in previous playthroughs. But typically, like discovering new hexes in the environment, you're going to be spending resources here in order to unlock new technologies. You'll eventually unlock things like ranching and modules, like futuristic stuff like nuclear technology and liquids and other cool things. But you typically start off small, unlock automation, the beginning of power farming, and you go from there. It's a typical progression system. And of course, upgrading your skill tree is paramount to helping you do that efficiently. All in all, this game is fairly fun. My save has been wiped 3 or 4 times over the course of development, and despite that, I still come back to it and play it. My only gripe is I have to start, finish where I left off, which is quite unfortunate, just because, you do all this work and then you come back and then boom, it's gone. But you guys shouldn't have an issue with that now that the game will be launching. And I even sent a message to the developer on the Discord, and they got back to me and said, no, we're not going to be erasing save files anymore. So your progress from the demo, in theory, should carry over to the actual game should you decide to try the demo first and then pick up the game on launch. I highly recommend this game. It's a lot of fun. It's a time waster. Just on my playthrough alone, the recent playthrough, I have about 4.5 hours in there. And I don't want to spoil anything more than that. There are some surprises that you will find. I fought bosses in previous playthroughs. There was something I came across here that I don't want to spoil that wasn't in the beta. So there's that. So there is new surprises awaiting you. But I think, like, I want to leave some things for you to discover on your own. But yeah, I mean, all in all, the price compared to the playtime. Speaking of which, the price, the developers never got back to me regarding a price, and typically they never do. So I would estimate around $15-20 for this particular game. Maybe more, maybe less, but I would estimate this is like a $15-20 game. If it's less than great, but still, the fact that I spent 4 hours on this particular playthrough alone and I'm not done with it, I'm only about halfway done, says a lot. So I would highly recommend this game. If you enjoyed Forager, then totally check this out. I feel like this is a Forager sequel that we really needed. It's not multiplayer, unfortunately. I'm still waiting for a game to feature that, but it's still fairly fun, and it's a great time waster and a logistics simulator. Well, this is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. Take care.